Hey, Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's Peter Z up on the mic. Whoa, hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry and subscribe and like if you can, please. Or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go.
You're good.
Your breaker.
That was a good way to open
I'm
it
not
up.
gonna lie, Oscar, that's probably the first thing they saw was you sticking your tongue out.
Yeah, that's all right. It was perfect. I like it. It was very good timing.
Can we open the show at like every show with that? Yeah.
You guys have it.
Oh God.
Oh, there it is.
He's okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You need mouth to mouth?
Yeah. I mean, are you? It depends on who. You got to pick somebody.
No, we'll alternate. It's fine.
Yeah.
This time-
I'll go until Ryan. Once Ryan gets winded, I'll step in.
Look, if there's four of you standing over my body, let the girls go first.
And they say chivalry is
That's
dead.
Oh my goodness! What is up, everybody?
What's going on?
Oh, hello.
I do want to say, so Becky, who is one of the volunteers, she has that lovely English accent. Becky Keeble, right? Did I say that right?
He's in the chat, yeah.
Yeah, Becky's here. She's very happy we're here on a Monday because...
Ten of tomatoes in the garage.
In the garage. Garage.
It's the carrot
Yes,
to the
yes,
J.
In the
garage.
garage.
Every camp she teaches us a phrase that emphasizes the differences between the Queen's English
Yes.
and American English.
Yeah.
And so the one from May last year was 10 of tomatoes in the garage.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she
Tin of
said.
tomatoes.
10 of tomatoes in the garage.
In the garage.
Tomatoes in the garage? Is that what?
Yeah. Something like that. And I
Yeah.
can't remember the new one, though.
I can't remember the new one either. She'll have to remind
Very
us.
foggy. Thank you. At last you said it. So she's here. She is very happy that we're able to be here on a Monday because Tuesdays are always very busy for her.
Yes.
So, we try to appease the masses and do what we can. But for everybody, once again, so last week was on me. There's really not an apology that I want to put out there just because
It was a valid reason.
what I had to do was very valid, and I won't get into that. But I do just want to say thank you all for being patient and giving us the time to get Oscar on here with us. Thank you to you guys for everything you guys did for me on the side, as far as what you were able to offer me for that situation. And then obviously, Oscar, thank you for being gracious enough and obviously
And
understanding. I knew it wasn't going to be an issue for you once I divulged everything. And just like you said, you wish you were here next to me, doing it with me. So with that being said, I do want to say thank you to you guys for understanding and for being here this week. We're 2 episodes behind. Behind. So we're going to cover what I'm going to designate as Oscar's episode. Because if you paid close attention to Faith, well, then you saw this man get his cameo, so to speak. Like this was his coming out party in that episode, and then we'll dive right into family as well.
And I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, we were at the camp, and there you go. We were at the camp and we watched it live, and it was just, it was so friggin' cool. Oscar was sitting right next to Chris and I.
Yep.
And I was getting the play-by-play from Oscar. He's like, hey, it's coming up. Just watch. And Oscar, just seeing the look on your face and the pride in yourself that you had, was just awesome, dude. I as a friend and a brother to you, I can't tell you what that how that felt to me
For us,
just watching you and seeing the smile on your face, and then when seeing your face flash across that big screen and just hearing the whole room just erupting, just cheering for you. I was it got me emotional. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie to you.
absolutely. I mean, look, I compare sitting down with all those fans and all our family watching that episode to like when you first watched Endgame in the theater.
Yeah.
You know, or like Avengers. Like
When you see
I'm not-
Cap catch Mjolnir, you know.
people literally stood up, cheered, yelled. The energy in that room was, like cliche, but it was electric.
Yeah.
It really was.
It was like Endgame was the perfect example because there's nothing that has compared to it, and like between that having Michael James Shaw and Cooper there, and just the feeling of we're all so sad that the show is ending, and just knowing that we were all together, we could all feel these emotions together.
Yep.
I never got to watch an episode of Walking Dead with other people before.
Yeah.
So that was my first time. Better late than never.
Right. I mean, what an episode to pick for all of us to be able to be there.
Yeah. And what a moment.
Yeah. And I want to echo off of what Ryan. Look, we've been with Oscar for a long time, and
6 years now.
Yeah. And when you first started telling us about I'm going to do creature stuff, whatever. And like you said, it went from being like posting a photo and like an arrow, like this is me, like I'm this guy.
And we'd always break your balls about it. You know what I mean?
And this was literally everything you've put effort into, everything you've strived for over the past 5 seasons. Is it 5 seasons? 4 seasons?
Four.
Well, and think about it, those seasons are split into 2, right? So what I mean, like
it was a long run. It's it's 5 years, close to 5 years.
Yeah, and
I want you to finish.
No, yeah, and for you to be called to have that scene, it just like your work, your dedication for that show. Like you were talking to us in the pre-show, the constant back and forth to driving. It's not like it was down the road for you. You had to leave real life, family, your job, everything to follow your love of something, and that's the payoff, man. And it was beautiful to see, honestly. I mean, we were all just that moment for you was the same for us. That's basically how I want to put it.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, no, you're good.
No.
I know, Renee. I mean, if you want to say anything,
wink, wink.
Talk about me some more.
Yeah, right. Stroke my ego a little bit.
Yes, I was excited to finally see your face, even though I know you've always been there for a very long time. I was like, there he is.
Well, I mean, if I could have done it any other way, I wouldn't have done it, right? I honestly, I think about that day and filming that, and it's just a normal day. Not a normal day. It starts to snow. It's a 2-hour blizzard and on and off, and it's super cold there. It got to like 12 degrees, and you're having a day. You're doing your background. You're doing your extra work, and then for your AD to call your name and say, "Hey, you're up," and I'm like, "I'm up for what?" I don't know. I'm up. I'm already here. You're on set. You've been called. You're working. You're on a cut. So you're just kind of standing, waiting for whatever the next scene is. And he's like, "No, yeah, we're gonna take care of you." Like basically throwing you a bone, and and that was talked about. We understand that a lot of these guys' faces have already been seen. You as a trooper, obviously no. Obviously as a whisperer, no. Obviously as a walker, no. And yeah, man, he's like, there's like a feature thing, and it's you.
Mm-hmm.
You put in a lot of back. He said it, you put a lot of back and forth in. And I'm like, okay, like, hell yeah, what's next? And here you go. They're sending you into the holding area, the wardrobe, and you go from your full mask, goggles, and your ski mask underneath. They take all that off, and they just put a strap under there. And it's like, okay, you're going to see the face, and then to be the guy. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for when you see that scene. Obviously, we're not spoiling anything, right? This is already
no, we're good. Hey, if you haven't watched it by now, that ain't our fault.
it was really cool to go into that wardrobe area, and Paula's in there. And, I know her from the camp, and she's saying hello. And Kari was at a previous, he was at a camp, and he's saying hello. And to for the first time to feel, not to say that we don't feel like anything, but you don't always get to interact or engage with the main cast. You do with crew, but to be acknowledged and to be able to do that was amazing. And then to be dead on Jeffrey, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see that lineup, I'm the one that's directly in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that camera was always just this far away, you know what I'm saying? Like at every angle. And you don't have any expectation other than, you're there, you're in that line, it's something good. I knew that was a hella scene. We were building up to that. That's kind of one of the end moments there. But is it going to make it? Is what you did going to make the cut?
Right.
And I don't think I realized it till everybody has AMC Plus, so people are watching a week early. And when you get a screenshot and it's 2:00 in the morning and you hear bing on the messenger and you're going, oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so full of emotion to be able to see that. Of course, I like Renee said, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I had to show you by putting an arrow, or there are scenes where I was killed by Connie, and I know I'm that whisperer. That was like a hero moment. But to have this moment after so many years to be able to see myself, it was real but surreal, and still I'm still kind of taking it all. I mean, of course, it's I don't know how to express it. I mean, it's wow. I'm gonna take this one with me, man. It's to see myself up there officially, the face. It's a highlight, man, and it was a damn good episode.
Yeah, it was.
And to watch it at the camp, to watch it with my family, to watch it with my extended family, the camp family, the family, and say, like you guys said, to hear the noise and to just cry, but happy, and it was uncontrolled. It's not a controlled thing, right?
Yeah,
it's happening. Ryan's sitting to my left. I think Chris is behind me. Cooper's standing back there, and Michael Shaw. We have Mercer floating around because we made it into an event. Even that viewing. Wow. I think I don't know. I don't know how to. It was pure just joy, man. It was exciting. It was more than exciting. I don't. I could look through a thesaurus and probably never find the right word. But I was happy. And it took a long time, and it was never expected. It's not like I was waiting for it.
Sure.
It just happened for me, and I'm very proud, and I'm happy they picked me, and I'm glad I got that moment. So, and I got to share it with all you guys. That was amazing.
And we're proud of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So we obviously have questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
Pi wanted to know. Well, Pi wants to know a lot of things, but Pi wanted to know a lot about the uniform. She wanted to know about the fit, comfort. Was it heavy? What's it made out of? And why do you guys have such a robust butt plate?
Well, see, I don't know anything about the design. I know that they went through, I think from what overhearing, wardrobe and costume, they went through like 2 or 3 versions before they got to this ultimate. So all the white spots, the chest plate, these elbow pads, they have the red stripes on them. Everything underneath is black. So if I could break it down, it's just like an Under Armour boot. We wear like what's called a ninja pant, our pants, right? It's like a legging for dudes, and then you wear like this real skin tight black shirt, and then you don't put that stuff on. They
do
that
it for
you. So as far as getting dressed, all of us get in line and we just wait our turn. You're there, your wardrobe, they call it troopers if you're troopering that day. And so everything is pretty lightweight. So I'll give them that. The white stuff is made out of like almost like a rigid like a foam.
Right.
I want to say it was
Like a hardened foam plastic kind
like
of
a
thing?
hardened foam, but it had some flex to it.
Okay.
With some texture, so not heavy. There's no weight to it, but everything was buckles and straps. You know, it's kind of like the book bag with the two plastic ends, and then you pull. It was for me, you know, coming in late as a trooper, because I'm not, you know, one of the OGs. There's a lot of guys that were doing it for a long time. Different from when I whispered, right? I started in the beginning, so I had an expectation. But coming in as a trooper and wearing that stuff, my first time putting it on, it was everything was labeled female, so it was a smaller suit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really tight. It just felt like it was pulling me down as they strapped everything in. And then, you know, I went through a few different suits, but, you know, let's say like Nate Collins or my buddy John, they all had their bag labeled with their names. So you kind of grow into yours, you know, when it's yours.
Right.
So it's like when you have your mask or whatever. For me, it was always, you know, piece here, piece there. And it just, for me, it wasn't. Ultimately, I mean, even Norman said it. Those things were not comfortable. I did have a day where it was just super, super bad, super tight. I never felt like I could catch my breath too. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the chest area. The only time I think I felt comfort was the scene in Faith where they took all this stuff off.
Sure.
Because if you could only imagine black ski mask up to here and then a plate over it, then goggles, like it's almost claustrophobic, but they look really good, right? But you know, no, for some people they were comfortable. I would say for me there might have been one or two times where they were comfortable, but they weren't heavy. I guess I could say if they got it right, the fit right, it wouldn't have been so bad. I would say you could hang. And the butt plate, I have no idea, because the nuisance when it was time to sit down to eat, flipping that flap up, undoing, you know, and then you go to the armory and then they put the machete on you and the machine gun, and you got to take all that off and try to sit down, lift that butt plate, and then trying to go potty. The front wraps down too, so you're lifting that up, trying to get under. It was a wreck. But I wouldn't change it for the world. It was a hell of a piece of wardrobe. The costume was. It was a little off. It wasn't a lot of fun for me.
I actually have a very serious question from Linda, and I just read this and I was like, damn. So Linda said, would you shoot a pregnant woman even under threat?
Like in the show?
Well, yeah. I mean, if like you had to shoot like in that show, like
in
I guess.
Life, yeah. No. I mean, like, would I like? I guess. Me as a no, hell no. I guess I would. That's one I'm gonna not take for the team, but you know they write it, so you kind of do. You do what what's written, but I mean I would probably, you know, if that were a true scenario, no, hell no. I mean we have honor, and moms and babies ain't the thing. So I don't care where you're at. No,
so I mean like. So if the script is written, like obviously we know how it was written. It was written to turn the tables against the warden.
Right.
Other way around, does Oscar pull the trigger?
Me?
Well, you know, your character. Let's say, you know, do you rebel even with the directive?
I think I rebel. I think, you know, being a part of that, I saw what those people were about. We saw you saw that ultimate sacrifice. Obviously, when you reverse those roles, you remember Negan had everybody on their knees, and it was his turn.
Yep.
And it ultimately Annie coming out, you know, pregnant wife, and it's like, whoa, no, just me, right? You know what I'm saying? So at that moment, I would see. I think because I'm driven by emotion anyway. I don't think that. Yeah, that's why it wouldn't be good for war and all that. Yeah, it's like, but you don't need a ticket. I ain't locking you up. Yeah, just be on your way. So no, I think we're rebelling, bro. Because I felt the goodness, I saw the goodness, and who would ever thought we would side with Negan, right? But I love that character.
Yeah.
It's because I love Jeffrey. You know, I love everything about that actor. So
there's a lot of powerful moments in this episode. Obviously, packed full.
Oh,
Of, between him and Ezekiel, their conversation. Then you had Carol and Maggie, their conversation, where she's talking about how she keeps hearing, Herschel and stuff like that. So like, but just the conversations that took place in this episode, they're all like closure conversations almost. You know what I mean?
Talking about like Henry.
Yeah, things that needed it. Conversations that obviously we all wanted to, that we all expected to hear or wanted to hear. As they're bringing the show to an end, you want closure on a lot of things. So this episode was packed. I mean, packed full of just really good like closure, and then tying at the end, obviously tying the culmination of everything together. That's coming.
I mean, you consider the front to the back. It's like wow. You watched how many of these? 100 and something these episodes, and
177.
You might 177. You might watch one and go, oh, this was a whole shit from the beginning. Like it grabbed you and it held you.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, go ahead, Rick.
That episode was my favorite of the final 8. I mean, I haven't seen the 24 yet, but of the ones we've seen, this has been my favorite episode.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
No, aside from that, aside from it, it was just so. I think too, because how we got to experience it, it's always going to be a favorite of I think all of us. If we were all in that room and I mean on that big screen, it's going to be a hard one for me to top. And I think it was because we got to share and we got to experience, we got to cry, we got to think, we got to feel all together. Everybody had those emotions at that same time, and we all maybe shed that tear at the same time. And even for me, just the vulnerability of Negan, my God, right? Underneath. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, the parallel between when he forced everybody to their knees and he had Lucille and he was the parallel between that was insane.
Yeah. So much power that I mean, they could have went with less dialogue even, and we would all understand what was going on at that moment. It was very, I mean, just fantastic. And I like I said, it's hard for me because I know too what happens next. I did it, so but to see it is different. Like I think Cooper said it too. To watch, aside from what they said on Talking Dead, Cooper himself said something along the lines like. I think he set it up on stage where to watch it with, because a lot of people didn't know he was standing in the corner with Belushi.
Yeah.
He was in a dark spot, that little hole in the wall back there. And he's like, to watch it with fans, he's like, it meant so much more. And I think that's kind of that's the case for me in this episode.
Yeah.
But you guys know I love the show.
Yeah, I mean, even okay, because he was there as well.
Yeah.
And, he was just in awe of the reaction. So, to see the actors watch their show, but in front of an audience like that, it just, they were, like you said, they were blown away, I think. They were really like...
And then you got Michael running around from table to table saying, oh, behind the scenes of this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, watch this part. Listen, we ad-libbed this one scene. Like, he just was on fire that night. He was so in his element.
If I gotta say someone had a good time, he definitely had a good time at the event.
I mean, it was funny as hell because at one point he was sitting in front of Chris and I, and he's like, "Yo, Ryan, Chris, watch this shit." It's like, all right,
guy giving commentary.
Yeah.
Every time I looked, I'm like, how did you get there so far?
At one point, he had his cowboy hat on, and he took it off to watch the episode, and he's running around, and I'm like, Mike, you forgot your hat. He's like, I'll get it later.
Got your hat, bro.
We got a ton of questions, so let me see. Oscar,
I want to know if you kept anything from me. Walker's Whisperers or the Trooper.
We got to our last days on set. We made a lot of friends with wardrobe people, and they were kind enough to say, "Hey, here's your sweater or your pants." So I do have my boots, and I have my Trooper boots. I have my Walker boots. And I do have some other really cool items. So yes, we got to take some of it. It took a long time for that too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, day one you wanted skin or you wanted no. It's finally like, well, it's ending. That we wrapped. A few of us that had been there for a while. They said, yeah, take some of your stuff. So I was fortunate enough to acquire some of those items.
If you could have taken anything though, what would it have been?
Oh Lord, I probably would have taken maybe part of that uniform, part of the trooper uniform, maybe some of the props, like the machete was really cool, the gun. Would have loved to have like the helmet, goggles, the face,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was
a Halloween costume.
Yeah, definitely. But there was some Whisper stuff that the mask I would love, because I got to wear so many versions of the Whisper mask over the 2 seasons that I would love to have those. Those things were, and it was funny to watch those progress. Start off as the beta versions and no fun. Right? I don't mean beta as in the character, just like the beginnings, right? And then to see what he turned them into, they were more refined and a little bit tighter and more closer. Because if you look at some of those earlier episodes, like our neck pieces come almost down to here, and then they were shortened and they were closer, and the hair was a little bit not like this, but like that. So it was really cool to see Greg change up as the show changed, as the Whispers changed up, and it was, I think, just for the look. You think you have it, and you go, let's go back to the drawing board and maybe fine tune it.
Right.
So that's a shout out to him. Definitely looking at his creations and wanting to step up every single time. So definitely Whisper mask, Walker mask, and a lot of that trooper stuff. Oh yeah.
All right. You got a little shout out from Edward Thomas here. He said he reached out to you during season 10 to ask you how to walk like a walker.
Yeah.
I believe it is. So you got a little Ed Daenerys talking about.
Edward. I remember Edward. Yeah. Edward's my buddy. Edward Thomas. What's up? You guys always see him at the camp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his girl and the baby, and so Edward was like, I think we met him at one of the first photo ops down at Chris's when we did one of our summer camps, and I met him there, and he came twice, and he hits me up via messenger. He's like, dude, I need to know how to walk like a walker. I'm like, you got the email? He's like, I got the email. So I think we met in town, like right outside of Chris Toolman's in Sonoy, and I kind of showed him how to do it.
How to shamble.
So, yeah, so it was really cool to then be on set and see him for multiple seasons as well. Somebody that was just a huge fan that supported the camp, that supported the shops, the stores, and there he is. He's another one that was great, that was able to be on the show. And so he's also, has these moments, and I'm proud of that, man.
Yeah. Can you tell Kate?
Hi, Casey.
Can you tell her we're kind of busy here? She just walks in the kitchen. She got her phone in her ear. She's looking in the fridge. Yeah, like, I'll take a ham sandwich.
Talking shit, Case.
I'm not even listening.
I'll take a ham sandwich, heavy on the cheese.
Like, you motherfuckers, I didn't know the
The camera's always rolling.
Eva Johnson wants to know, working with the whole Walking Dead family, like basically the experience with anyone you were able to, I guess, work with closely. What was it like working with some of the, the bigger name people, like when you were filming with JDM, doing the gun scene, let's say? Was there any kind of like behind the scenes dialogue that you guys, like, he did with you guys, teased you guys, or just being and fucking around?
So with Jeff that night, it was, like I said, super cold, sand. You obviously he was up against the windmill. That was our firing squad backdrop deal, and they had like a 30-foot heating blanket in there, and there were times that he'd like look at me and do a wink or blow a kiss to kind of throw the scene off, and I smile, and it happened more than once, and there's a cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. But there were times like when he infiltrated the Whisper compound, right? When he was becoming one of us, that we were able to talk to him a little bit more. That day was cold. It was fat. He was just eager to be done.
Yeah.
call him the grumpy old man. He's not. He's really not. He just is like, let's lock it down.
Yeah.
I'm freezing. But I do remember a time doing some stuff as a Whisperer, maybe season 10, where, he's kind of sitting on a log and we're just, there's a scene where he's, alpha, beta, they're kind of looking here and I'm like directly behind. We got to play a little bit. He's like, watch how I mess these two mother effers up and stuff like that. So, and then we would cut and he'd smoke his cigarettes and drink his Coke and I make jokes. They're like, "Where's Jeffrey?" I'm like, "Just follow the lines, the Coca-Cola cans and the cigarettes." Because he would never turn them off, so it would just be smoke. But I got to work with Norman, and I got to work with Jeffrey, and I got to work with Lauren Ritloff, and I got to work with Paola, and I got to work with Christian Serratos and Ross Marquand. So and I can just keep naming them. I got to do this is, like I said, over 4 years. There was so many scenes from 9 through now. All of them have been amazing. I've never had a bad moment, me personally, with the groups that hung out, whether we were the Whisperers, the Troopers, the Walkers, whatever we were doing. It was always, fantastic. I remember a scene. Remember the cave when we're in that cave and we're reaching for Aaron, who's standing up, or Ross, and he literally slides and kicks dirt. But we're wearing our masks and you got your little slits, and everybody's like, "Oh," and he's making it a point to help pull the mask off and blow your eyes out. He's like, "You guys okay?" So you do get to
that, man.
You never chase that though, guys. Let me put it out there as us being extras in background. Unless they look for you, it's kind of not like a thing. Obviously you're not on set. You see Cooper and you go, "Hey, Cooper," because you know him. You don't cross the line. You wait. If they know you, they always make it a point. I see them talk to multiple people across, whether it's crew or BG or extras or whoever. If they know you, and they're such a kind group, they're gonna talk. But I've never crossed that line on set. I've kept it always professional. I mean, we're clowns in our own right. Don't get me wrong. The background holding is probably the worst place you want to be. There's a lot of us. I mean, just me and Nate alone is enough, right? But yeah, no, it's been really awesome. So to answer the question, yeah, they've all been pretty amazing. I really liked working with Jeff the 2 times. I really liked sharing a moment with Norman at Kingdom. We got to sit on a file cabinet and smoke a cigarette, and he was showing me some stuff some music that he was a part of on his Spotify, on his app, and that was the day Connie killed me as a Whisperer. That was like the Choke Point episode. So yeah, there's been a lot of really great moments, and they're really, really awesome. The crew or the cast. So
I know that obviously, because you've been on set and everything like that, but a lot of people are talking about...
Don't do it, dickhead.
No. A lot of people are just talking... So we obviously always do a little thing called Grind My Guts.
Okay.
So as far as this episode goes, this is always something that I tend to always harp on. And I don't mean to, but it's just overdone. It's just overdone in my opinion.
It's what you do.
So, we had Rick with Carl when Carl got shot, right? Yeah. And you have Rick running with Carl in his arms, running through the field after he gets shot. We have Daryl carrying Beth when Beth got killed, right? Now we have Daryl carrying Judith after she gets killed. How many times, why do we got to revisit this storyline? I know that they're probably trying to draw parallels, obviously, but at the same time, there wasn't anything else that crossed your mind to put on paper, and then another limb bite, where we have Lydia get bit, and we're gonna have another amputation, and we're gonna have. But yet, you always told us the reason why Rick never got bit like he did in the comic is because it was too expensive and the green screen and it was all this other stuff. It wouldn't have worked out. But you're able to do it for 3 other people now,
Well, with Aaron, he had the arms. So he didn't.
Sure.
He didn't have to do too much CGI with that. At least.
Well, they would have done the same thing with Rick, though, right? They would have just bandaged it up, and it would have been
Maybe.
a,
I mean, look what they did with Herschel.
yeah, exactly. They did a leg, which I think would be even harder to do than an arm. I mean, you film up above the waist a little bit or whatever, this and that.
Elvis, I was going to say they above the waist.
Yeah.
So
I just, to see the redundant storylines, like it's just like why are we doing this? Why are we just beating this horse to death? The horse died in season 1. Why are we trying to beat it back to life?
For me,
in season 11.
Yeah, the horse has died many times.
They probably wrote it up for 13. It's not going to make the cut.
Right.
The second.
But I mean, for you, no, but I mean for you, so you being a fan, obviously, and you being on the show, the stuff like that, personally, does it bother you? Are you affected by it? Like maybe me?
Yeah, I think that with the creativeness that's on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think that you could probably. It's kind of like a writer. They don't write the same thing all the time. Renee writes for Undead, right, Renee? It's always something different, always something fresh. And you can still convey or your message, the message she wants comes across. Yeah, you're right. We saw it with Carl. We saw it multiple times. We saw Carl get shot early, and then there's Rick running with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then again in the eye, and there's Rick running with him, and Beth, and so on. But I don't know why they revisit that. I don't like it too much either. Of course, everybody gets shot. We know that tons have been shot, so that's a thing that's going to happen. Everybody has guns, whatever, stab. But yeah, the whole carrying thing, I don't know. I'm not a real big fan of it. I don't understand why they do it. What's the point? Because like you said, it's almost like looking at those other scenes. Like we've seen it already.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to see that more than once. Well, I guess, what do they do it every 4 years? Let's break it.
Yeah.
I think they do it, especially in the final season. I think they're doing a lot of these callbacks as, kind of like nods to
homage.
the original. Yeah. And not that not everybody likes that, but I think they, probably they feel it's a creative choice more than, oh, let's rewrite this over. Oh, look, we'll make this connection to season 1 or whatever. And I think they're doing a lot of that. We've talked about how they're bringing up people. They're closing some of those stories and things. So I think they're trying to do it as a creative thing, but it's not translating well for a lot of fans because we know there's only a limited time. We want to see new to finish this out, not just rehashing.
I feel like they're just kind of shoving it down our throats at this rate. Like if it was sprinkled in. Yeah. But it's like every episode, it's like, yeah, imagine if it was like a drinking game, a good callback. Oh my God, I'd be drunk in the first minute. No.
Well, I mean, that's like a couple weeks ago at the camp.
That was fucking funny. Make sure I want to see that one like on live.
Right. Chris and I.
It was a drinking game. They're carrying that dead motherfucker.
I actually found a Walking Dead drinking game that I'm going to do it for YouTube one day.
All right.
I think you guys should all do it with me.
I'm down.
All right. I'm sleeping on the couch.
Whatever.
I'll find it again. I'll send it.
All right. That'll be a filler episode while we're waiting for the next the series to start.
Yeah.
Here's a question for me and for you guys. Did you feel like, did you feel like there was in this last A, was there a filler in there somewhere?
I don't think so.
No, there was no filler in these last 8, but this last 24, was there any fillers in there that you felt like, and do we need that, or it just needed to go? I think there was 1 or 2 where I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're not telling the story.
I feel like Acheron could have been 1 episode. I don't think it needed to be 2 parts.
It didn't have to be a 2-parter. I think I was looking at that last night and going, what the hell, man? Like,
And I think, the whole Reaper story to me, I mean, like, I liked it, but I feel like it wasted. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't get to learn enough about that group to care.
I felt like it was quick and choppy.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, and to put that, like, that should have been introduced a while ago, so we felt more interested in that. I mean, I was interested in the story. I don't know how to explain.
Well,
But
because
you know, like for the final season,
Yeah.
it seems silly to introduce this huge group and make them so menacing, and then they're gone. And you know, like we needed more of them, or just not at all.
There was a
Yeah.
there was a big build up, but not a big payoff.
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
You know what I mean? That's how I felt.
Well, yeah, and they always say that this world, right? This world that we're in is full of this and full of that. This world that they created with all these groups that are in it, for them to just appear randomly one at a time throughout a timeline instead of them not always being there and existing as a threat instead, like that to me would have been more of the great threat. Like, you know that to the east is this problem, to the west is that problem, north is that problem. Like, instead of dropping this group, that group, this group, that group, one at a time, just to keep a season going. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, I feel like when you have this world, it's as big as it is, having them exist all at one time would have been a greater threat to everybody.
I
You know?
think also COVID played a big part in it, because think about when they started filming season 11. It was still during that time where you kind of couldn't have the big cast, do the whole meetup. So you kind of had to introduce a little bit at a time, I feel like. They were kind of like just coming out of that phase. I feel like that's kind of why it was the Reapers were introduced one by one.
I think I agree with what she's saying too, because it was all about containing. You know what I'm saying? Because even when they were looking for, you know, bringing some of their BG back, it was like, okay, we're gonna stay local, especially during the COVID time. It took a minute, like, oh, are you gonna get a call back, or is anything gonna happen? But yeah, you can kind of see it where it's 4 guys and a girl, you know, or it's a small. It wasn't this big. Even our birds have become smaller. You know what I'm saying? It was do that. So, but I agree with Meg saying, but I also agree with Chris. I really like how you looked at how you know, knowing where everything was at, but then even Renee going, either be something or don't be anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
What the fuck? Like, here we are, we're done.
Yeah. Renee says the Sabres would have taken out the Reapers in a minute. And I mean, if you go by sheer size, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But-
definitely, without a doubt.
I mean,
When saviors were introduced,
yeah.
this show, like with the example, we were given all these little teasers and how horrible they were, and they were, you know, you were pretty scared for when you knew. I mean, and we kind of knew, you know, we knew Negan from the comics, most people did, so you knew, but like we learned a lot about them and the bad things they had done before they were like, okay, here they are now. Here's Negan and this, but like with the Reapers, Maggie just kept saying they did bad things. They did bad things.
Yeah.
You know, again, if we would have heard those stories more, I mean, I guess I heard a little bit, but not enough to make them seem a bigger threat.
Mhm.
But that's been a big issue in season 11 entirely. They're not showing, they're just telling. Prime example is Luke. Oh, Oceanside is gone.
Yeah.
Show me Oceanside
Yeah.
being
Sure.
gone. Show me them, you know, burning the place up, killing people. I want to see it. Because
Yeah, we should have had a little something.
The
there.
last image, yeah.
We're
We all-
watching a show. We're not listening to an audio. Show me.
Yeah.
Show me by video.
Because the last time we saw Oceanside was Lance flipping a coin. That was it. That's
That
all
was
we
it.
saw.
Honestly, I was talking to my coworker today. Of course, we're talking about theories for the final episode, and because we didn't see Oceanside, I think something's gonna happen where we'll see like Rachel or Cindy or something pop out, like they survived and they're gonna help us in listen to me, help the group in Commonwealth.
Yep.
Yeah, speculating on what's going to happen and everything like that. Let me see. The Reapers were explaining with death. So, Rachel, Meme Queen, says that the Reapers were there to explain why Daryl's girlfriend goes wonky in the head. I feel like it was entirely filler. So, yeah, I mean, I think anybody who was a true fan of the show felt that way about that storyline.
It was kind of like a blink and you miss moment. You know what I mean? Like it felt like they went out faster than they showed up. You know.
I just think it's a disservice to those actors, because they were ready to do this and do all this, and then it just fell flat. Like give me like a Tales of the Walking Dead or something, and let's talk about the Reapers. You know,
Mhm.
let's
It just didn't. For me, what was the significance? Again, like Rachel saying, we already knew who Leah was. We already were engaged. We wanted to. I wanted to know a little bit more about her. I liked the return, but I didn't. She didn't need to have this groove and this hope and. Okay, yeah, I think they were okay characters. I mean, like I said, no, I like the guys better than the ones that have been said. We've had them there, but for me, that was totally filler. Yeah.
So a lot of people obviously are talking about the spin-offs as well, but we'll get to that. I do want to talk about Negan's interaction with the warden. I thought that was a really good part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting down, the warden sitting down with Negan and telling him what a leader is and what a leader does. And then for Negan to go back and talk with Annie and say, like, I was that guy. Like to see that role reversal, you know what I mean? And have someone sit there and explain to Negan what a leader is and what a leader sacrifices and everything. I found that was like a really good, like, kick in the ass kind of thing. Just like and this guy not knowing who Negan is and what he did, like how he used to roll, so I thought that was kind of like a good little switcheroo moment there for him to sit there and listen to someone tell him what a leader is and how they're supposed to run things and everything. But I mean, it goes down as probably top 3 episodes for me in the whole series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question for Oscar.
Yeah.
In the scene, obviously, the whole scene. Hi. In the whole scene, with the lineup and everything, and before that, we were watching the troopers pulling people out of the barracks and all that. What else did you get to do within that scene? Like, did you get to pull any of the cast out? Or
So basically, you see them pulling everybody out. So I was outside. So there was like 2 things going on. Us standing off to the side, people walking the streets, like walking towards the firing squad as they're filming, and we're leading people up, and then we have troopers walking into what we call that meat house, and that's where the barracks were and stuff. They were pulling everybody out. So I'm one that's outside that just kind of walks up, pushes more of the prisoners that way, people that we have outside, and then they're pulling the people from the inside. And then that's where the cut came, and it's like, okay, now you're going up front. So
Gotcha.
that kind of led to that. But I just kind of background troopered for most of the day. I stood off to the side. It snowed, and they said, walk these people this way. Nate was in front of me, and we kind of led these guys into the dirt. And that was going to be the build up to those principal troopers coming in, pulling everybody out. And then we all kind of pushed towards the firing squad or the windmill. And then that's when they said, hey, Oscar, you're up, Rodriguez, or whatever. I was like, well, up for what? I said, I'm in trouble. You hear hey, you fucking hear your full name, you're in trouble. It's like, I ate too much crafty or something. I like 2 waters.
God forbid.
Got called to the principal's office.
No, the warden's office.
Yeah. I did see someone actually ask if that was real snow. Yes, that was definitely real snow.
That was phenomenal.
We heard all about it at the camp.
Yeah, that was a lot of the actors talked about how cold that night was.
It got as cold as 12, and it snowed for a good on and off like 2.5 hours, man. It was rough.
And you get like when you see that scene too, when you're there in your lineup, you could tell how cold. Like the tip of your nose is like fucking Rudolph. Oh, yeah, it's like bright fucking red.
It was cold, bro.
Yeah,
you got to figure we did it. It was a night shoot. It wasn't like pretend dark. We waited for nighttime. We worked from the day and leading into this night shoot, and you know what happens when it gets nighttime. It gets cold as a month, and it was, your even Kari was like, and he talks about it on the Talking Dead, like,
look at that nose.
Because we go into that house where we pulled everybody out that Meg was asking about. They had heaters. And it's 2 seconds, and it's like back to set. You're like, God, you're lingering with your hand to touch the heat. You're dragging just to get that hand warm. And I'm wearing gloves as the trooper, so I'm pulling those off just to get a little heat, throw them joints on, and get back to it. But yeah, it was definitely risk.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the snow just made it so perfect,
Yeah,
especially with the impact
really
that
did.
scene had.
Yeah.
And the fact that it never really snowed except for that one like fake snow episode, it just signified so much.
Yeah, Pi mentioned that in the chat. I tried to go back and find it, but she had said she thought it was fake snow, just helping with the story and the death and just everything that was happening. So yeah,
that was beautiful.
It was funny too because it was off and then it was on. And when I mean it was off, there was nothing, and then when it turned on, it was like whoa! I mean, everybody stopped, production stopped, people are taking. You got like DC out there taking pictures and posing people because the lighting's kind of coming through the snow. It's a photographer's dream. These black, they turn a lot of it into black and white moments. So it was a lot of fun, man. It was very cold though.
Which is so strange to hear for it to be snowing in Georgia, but I mean, like stars aligned and it made for a fucking amazing scene. So.
Yeah, it did.
So you also were a walker in family as well, right?
Yeah, I got to. I want to say, let me think. Yeah, I did two different walkers in that episode. I did some real deep stuff, and then I did some actual, just like what we call right behind your heroes. The mask, full mask. So with Lydia going through, everybody has seen this, right? This is already dropped.
Yep, we're good.
I forget fully. Lydia going, the lead up to them, the walk and meeting with Luke and everybody, and her getting bit. So we're circling that trailer, and so I got to play a walker for that, and then like I said, there was that walking around the trailer, her getting bit, and it was again just walker stuff, and then we had the scene where the walker. The evolved walker finds the knife and she jumps deep. That was really cool to just be like, 2 or 3 steps behind and watch the stunts going on. It's a lot of cool stuff too that I still love that you're fascinated with just the making of it. You know what I'm saying? To be there, yeah. But then you get to watch, we get to cut for a minute. They bring in the close-up stuff and then you get to stand there and watch that. It's amazing, man. And really cool. I didn't know where this was going because if you remember, if we can go back maybe 2 or 3 episodes when we were at the Renaissance Fair, you remember the roof and the walker climbing up. That was like the first time we, as the background guys, the BG, got to see that type of walker. We're like, holy shit, what's happening here? One of us is climbing a ladder and turning a knob. Because Cooper was like, or Jerry was like, yo, what the shit, man, when he sees the doorknob. And we didn't see that. We saw that way back in season 1 with Morgan's wife.
Yeah.
Right.
They canceled that. They were like, no, we're not going to go that route. And then to see, that happen, and of course, this walker with the knife, but yeah, those were fun days. There was a lot for me. It was just a lot of what we call there was some up close, but it was more deep stuff. I got to stand in the back and be part of that, and then you see the drone, and it's really cool to see that shot where the Jeep is going, and the Commonwealth are leading the herd, and they actually lifted up the drone. Watch that, and maybe there was 30 of us up front or 40, and then everything beyond or behind is they fill it in CGI. So it's really cool to kind of see again, the process is really cool. But that was a fun episode. Again, I didn't work as much as I did on Faith with this last one. And it was just primarily walker stuff, but it was a lot of fun working with OK and Cooper and Ross and those guys around that trailer. And we got to see her get her arm bit and them create that they always bring this big old tank that they pump and create the whole, and then somebody's just squeezing it, so it squirts out. It's really cool stuff, man.
Got a question from Becky for you.
Sure.
If you were approached by AMC to work in one of the spin-offs, specifically the one in France, would you do it?
Oh Lord, I mean, no. As a background player, probably not.
Right.
Now, if AMC is approaching you, they're not going to approach you to do
Sure.
uh,
Background.
extra background, and I love that work. So there's no, like I said, I'm not dogging. But if they're coming at me, then yes, because there's going to be a different kind of deal in place if AMC is asking me. So for the background work, no, because you got to get yourself there, you got to lodge yourself, you got to travel yourself, you got to work out all the financials.
Yeah.
But if AMC said, hey, yeah, you want to come do this thing, sure, I would love to.
Yeah. We're gonna pay for your airfare, your hotel, your food, all that good stuff.
A few dollars, why not? Because
Yeah.
at that point, you're going to see my face.
Right. Right. Linda's actually very upset. Obviously, we know that Linda lives in France, and she is very. Yeah, she's upset about the spinoff in general.
Her and Pi are really the spokesperson for the European Union right now.
Yeah, they are.
Linda is so upset about Daryl's suspenders. She is very upset about those.
Yeah.
Wait, are suspenders a bad thing in France?
I think
it's a cliche.
Yeah.
cliche,
Like a stereotype.
I just thought berets were a cliche.
That's what I thought.
Or mimes.
I figured, he must have,
We got finger guns.
Yeah.
Like when you get close like that.
Sorry. I better not be screen grabbing no shit either.
Yeah, no, right? Oh, definitely. You kidding me? It's going to be everywhere now.
But where did the suspender cliche come from? That's what I really want
I
to
don't
know.
know.
Yeah, she just said,
Linda, school us.
yeah, she said cliche, we don't wear suspenders, but yeah, so I don't know.
Linda says truly it's like a big shit show with some cliche. Suspenders, okay, but it's 80s maybe. In the 80s, maybe saying like, maybe in the 80s they wore suspenders or something.
And a lot of people in America don't wear suspenders.
So is the thing that people wear suspenders now there, or they did? I am so lost.
Yeah, she's just
like Norman wearing some. What happened?
Yeah.
Norman, yeah, they showed a picture of Norman with his daughter on set. Diane had brought the baby, brought her to the set, and they're holding hands and walking, and he has suspenders on, which we're used to seeing him in his vest. But I'm like,
he got his belt.
What?
I mean, he forgot his belt that they did.
And also, if you think about it, it's the apocalypse, so they don't really have tailors. So you
Maybe
can make do with what you got.
Maybe the suspenders hold the crossbow better. You know what I mean? Maybe it kind of like serves as like a backpack. Backpack.
Friends against his will he be able to bring his crossbow?
Yeah, I guess.
Security will take it back.
The other thing she's got a problem with is the fact that you have Norman going to France, but he's not even be able to speak French, so you're making French people speak English.
I mean, I can understand that sense of it, like the representation.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, AMC is also a American studio, right? I mean, I get it from that perspective. It's kind of like I love the movie Valkyrie, the Tom Cruise, but why do all the Germans have British accents? Go back and watch it. They've all got British accents. I don't understand it.
Can Daryl just run through the whole thing?
I just want to say this. Daryl's always had those suspenders on. Y'all ain't never seen him with his vest off. He's had those under there the whole time.
So now they're saying you need to wear red suspenders instead of your red hat, or keep the red hat and do the red suspenders,
or a red beret.
I'm down.
Or a red beret.
Yeah.
Whatever it's a culture thing. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to change it up.
You're lucky. My favorite color is red. So
really,
yeah.
Yeah, it's become one of mine. I like it. I like red.
I'm looking.
I hear a dog toy.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's probably Chaz running around here.
Usually my dog does that.
So yeah, Linda's definitely hot under the collar. So I don't know, Linda. You kind of have. We'll have to see. Look, maybe it'll look better once it's a finished product. Product. It's out there. It might look better. Maybe
they could be purposely wearing it to throw people off.
I don't know.
Sorry, I totally cut you off there.
I'm just, I wish I could make it better for her. I mean, but we won't know.
New country, new wardrobe. what's up?
Yeah. He's in France, you know, when in Rome, you know what I mean? Like, you got to change it up a little bit. What about JDM and Maggie's spinoff? Were you ever interested in coming to Jersey, New York to do anything? Like, was that something that was on your radar, or like?
Yeah, I mean, so I had like people working there, supposed to be doing some things. I just think it was going to be hard, you know. Like, I had a really good thing in Sonoy. I had the connection, and I had the family that that was there, and they've been there, so it was easy to go and have a place to stay, and only worried about the travel. And towards the latter part, you're there for 3-4 weeks at a time, so it wasn't a lot of spending. And I'd buy groceries, I'd stay down there at the Airbnb. But yeah, it was considered. It was there's people that said, hey, we could work that out. And Tails called me. I was supposed to do episode 2, I want to say, as a stand-in.
Okay.
I was working Walking Dead, and so it's funny because ECA, Extra Castings, who does Walking Dead, was also casting for Tails. And so I got Janelle, who takes care of me on Walking Dead, and then Patrick going, hey, we want you for this stand-in. And I'm going, Janelle, I can't do both. You got me trying to do both on January 26th. I'm like, I'm already booked for Walking Dead. So he must have emailed me 5 or 6 times and goes, please, are you at least available for a day? I'm like, damn, they really need somebody that looks like somebody, because they wanted me to be a stand-in.
Okay.
For that, I guess it was the episode. It was like the Groundhog Day. Was that like the episode?
Blair and Gina.
Yeah. They wanted me for some stand-in work.
Wow.
For that, it was about a 6-day gig, but it was conflicting with schedules. So yes, Tails, I turned them down. What is it? The Maggie Negan. I would have loved to do that, but I never. I just, it would have been. It just was going to be. It was going to be really hard. I mean, I'd love to do all of them. Fear is casting right now still, and I have friends that are already doing it. They're like, "Come on, man, we'll get you." I've already, did all the photos and everything. I just never. I haven't submitted. Like, I haven't taken the plunge, because that's one of the things you get into it and then you want to stay into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I already have an idea of the parts that I can play, and because they're looking for people that are seasoned, that have done some long-term stuff. They're going to up you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's still out there.
So, I mean, just because the flagship show is over doesn't mean that we could still continue to see Oscar if opportunities arise.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a right one, yeah, definitely. I think I would love to, like I said, I think I talked to Casey about it a few times. I'm like, at least once, I'd love to say, I have Walking Dead, I have Fear, I could have had Tales. Maybe they do another, another 6 or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if these things are slated for 2 years or 6 up. I guess it just depends on the viewers and the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to go 2 seasons on anything, but I know Fear's still going to go right for another 1 or 2.
Yeah.
8. Yeah, this is 8, and I haven't heard any more. I heard rumors this could be the last, but that's not been confirmed.
Right. But yeah, if opportunity arises, and it's right for me, yeah, I think I'd love to, bro. Like, who doesn't want to be a part of the TWDU, right? Like, thing that. And of course, for me, that, like I said, I would love to have each one of those, but it just wasn't in the cards for any of those right now.
True. I mean, I think, Renee, you said that Tales, they could possibly really make something out of that with the amount of scripts they have written, right? The amount of stories.
They had written about 25 episodes.
Okay.
But I haven't heard if they're going to renew it.
Yeah.
I hope they do, because I think they need to give it another chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you think about it, Oscar? Did you watch Tales? Like, what'd you think?
Yeah, I've watched it. We've watched a couple of them. I really like anything that's like anthology. Who doesn't love, like, I'm a old, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, stuff like that. I love the Love, Sex, and Robots that's on, Netflix. And then what is there, a Black Mirror show? It's kind of along those lines. Obviously, you get to, base as individual episodes,
Mm-hmm.
And some are good and some are okay. You know what I'm saying? Depending on, whatever your poison is. I like the one with Anthony Edwards. I thought that was really, really cool. And just because I miss him as talent, and to see him doing some work was really cool. Because I loved him across the board and everything, movies, TV. I always thought he was great. And then, the Terry Crews one.
Yeah.
That was a cool episode. I don't think that I started watching the one that I told you they were going to cast me in for the stand, and that kind of loopy thing. That one I think it has more like a comedic, like comedy writing.
A little bit, yeah.
But then I did like the one where the walker, her mouth is covered and she's talking, because I know the girl.
Oh, yeah.
She was that feature for that whole. So definitely supporting. You have to like it already, but I think they could do better. I think I'm not a writer. I do create things, and I think we all can look at anything and go, "Oh yeah, I could see where they could kind of change it a little bit." I don't want to be overly critical, but it's Walking Dead, man. It's different. It's not our flagship. It's not our show. It's not our number one, but it could be our number 3. Shit, there's for a lot of it out there. I'm not going to dog any of it till I watch it. I'm very excited to see what Maggie Negan's going to bring. Always excited about what Norman Reedus is going to bring, because my man's just the jam. Who doesn't love Daryl? The Tales was cool. And, as far as Fear, I kind of fell off maybe season 4 and never revisited. And I really tried with World Beyond, and just I couldn't swallow that bill. So. That's me.
I with World Beyond, I tell everybody just to skip season 1 and watch season 2.
That's what I've heard.
That's how I got into it.
Because I told you that.
I skipped all season 1 because Renee said to. I was like, look, I watched the first episode and I was like, this is dumb. And Renee goes, no, skip the whole first season. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And I was enthralled.
But did you go back?
So you don't have to, Ryan.
Yeah, right.
Did you go back after you watched season 2 and then revisit? And then was it better?
It wasn't better, but there's certain things that made more sense once I watched the first season, and that's how I felt about like Parks and Rec. I love it. It's like my favorite show to watch, and it's the kind of show that like when I'm doing shit, I'll just put it on the background. I love listening to it, and that's how I felt about the first season of Parks and Rec. I could, for years, could not watch it until I think actually Chris told me. He's like, just skip to season 2, start from there, watch all the way through, and then go back to season 1 and watch it again. And I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
Because they were almost canceled after the first season.
Yeah.
They really gave them a chance again with 2.
Yeah.
So and then especially because they made it a longer season because of Amy Poehler's pregnancy.
Yeah.
So they struck gold with it, and now look.
Yeah.
And that's how The Office is too. A lot of people
Yep.
but if you kind of have to just get through that, and then it's awesome. I've probably watched The Office 7 times.
I could never get into The Office.
I don't think that's one you can start at season 1. That show's just brilliant. The Office, you can't get into The Office, Lord. If anybody out there is watching, please watch The Office. Yo, and the really cool part about The Office too is it's such a comedy, right? It's like that breaking the fourth wall type, and they're not, because they have a crew. It's like this fake crew within it, and they're film. Dude, there's emotion, there's feeling, it's not just comedy, man. When you get into your characters, obviously it's not action, nobody's dying, stuff like that. These relationships, and Michael really does have a heart of gold.
He's just kind of wayward sometimes.
He doesn't know how to work it out, but that show is brilliant.
There's no action. What about Threat Level Midnight? There's all kinds of action.
Well, there's a little something.
But you guys love Office? Check out Abbott Elementary.
I started watching that.
Oh my god, I am hooked. I've been watching this since the first episode. Oh yeah, Noah from Walking Dead is in it.
Tyler, James. Something.
But we know who he is.
Yeah. Everybody hates
it. It's just
James Williams. Is it Williams?
Yeah,
yes.
I think so.
Okay.
The cold opens are just phenomenal. The girl who created it is a genius, and she deserved every Emmy she won. And I'm excited to watch the next episode.
I want to. So before, obviously, I mean, we got a little. We always get sidetracked. But Renee, I know that. Yeah, I know, Renee. You actually were you had to grind my guts about episode family. You had mentioned about Judith having a conversation with Daryl and how.
Oh yeah,
we're doing all these conversations in this episode, right? Everybody's got their thing. You got Ezekiel and Negan, and you got Maggie's listening into that conversation, and you got all these things going on. And Daryl is sitting talking to Judith about how much she misses her mom. She hasn't heard from her mom, and all these things. And this was the opportune time for her to tell Daryl about Rick. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I just thought it was such a waste because, this is something Daryl needs to know. And I understand Judith's fear. She's afraid everyone's going to leave her. She's already lost, her mom's left her, her dad's gone, all this stuff. But I was just like, I just thought that was just a poor choice to not use that time, to do that. I mean, and maybe they're saving it for the final episode, but that was I don't know, to me, that was just the moment. They just missed it. Because to me, it's a lot, I don't know, it's just lost the I don't know, that moment would have been opportune to do that.
To let Daryl know that Rick was still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows besides Michonne, Virgil, and Jadis, I mean, that's it,
My grind the guts moment from this episode was after they do the on Lydia's arm, right? And then she's like, we have to go back for Elijah, right? Like, that's the whole big thing. This is her love, this is her one true love, for the 6th time. And
he's young,
and
great,
right? And Jerry, he's like, dude, stop! No, I'll go out there. I get that he is covered in guts. I get it. Okay, that's how they blend in. It's the whispers. It's since season 1. It's been a thing. I get it. But he opens the trailer door and walks out, and no walkers walk in. Door closes and everything's fine.
I didn't even pick up on that.
I mean, there's one in there when they first open a door.
Yeah.
That they kill.
Yeah.
There's one in the trailer.
But once Jerry opens the door and walks out.
Yeah.
I think they were.
I have a question.
I think they were all going after Elijah. That's
So
why when he walked out, there was none out there.
I don't know, because I saw some hands. I don't know.
At least that's what I saw from this outside. They're like, go after him. They wanted it to be thin.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be thin.
There's been a lot of released photos from behind the scenes stuff for the last episode.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, a lot of it, I think, is spoiler-ish in a way. I mean, and I don't understand the reason for doing that.
No, those aren't even behind the scenes. Those are promotional.
Well, promotional, yeah.
These are AMC released today. Probably 20, 25 photos, and 2 of them are absolute spoilers. And then if you watched Talking Dead last night, they had a scene on there that was a complete spoiler. I'm like, why? Oh yeah, this stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a final episode. Just let it.
I mean,
let it be what it's going to be.
They show the one walker eating the hand. And I'm like, well, they keep Lydia's hand as bait, and they're just like, here, chew on this, Go get that fetch, you little fucker. Yeah. They were like, Oscar, go get it.
I'm literally trying to find these photos right now.
There's another one. There's another one where you see everybody's standing there. You have all the females are lined up, all the queens, and they're all standing there, all lined up, and there's Luke laying on the ground. Just, laying there. I'm like, well, is Luke dead? Like, he's lying on the ground. What's going on with Luke? Everyone else is fine except for Luke. He's the only one laying on the ground. And I mean, like, at this point, like if Luke died, I wouldn't, it's Luke.
I'm just saying that final episode is going to be pretty heavy, man. That's all I got for you.
I was going to wrap up with Oscar's thoughts on the last episode, but like,
swoop, there it is.
Well,
that's all you get, motherfucker.
No. So my question is,
Hi, Casey.
My question for you is it's an answer for the fan base that's here now and for whoever's going to see this before that episode. what do you think will be the overall response from the community, from the fan base of The Walking Dead? Do you think there will be a response of satisfaction? Do you think there will be a response of closure? Like,
dissatisfaction?
Do you think, or do you like, where do you think the fan base is going to sit with this ending? Is it going to be 50-50? Is it going to be 70-30? Like, happy, sad, disappointed?
I'd say about a 60-40.
Good to bad? 60-40 good?
60-40 good. And only because, like, again, you remember we have reference material, right? It's always the comic book. So when you consider what has been going on versus what we've been doing, we always kind of, there's deviation. Right, here's the book. We go like this, we go like that. And we always kind of stay parallel.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are going to be satisfied, but again, with now the spin-offs, right? Obviously, we know, and that's the biggest spoiler of them all. If I have to say anything, fuck the last episode. Why are you already letting us know Maggie and Negan are alive? Why are you letting us know Daryl Carroll are alive?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you letting us know Michonne and Rick? You could have done that in such a different way, and ultimately that may affect. That's why we're going to have the 60 good, 40 bad, because we know what some of this outcome is already. When you consider the ones that are going to be working still, who's left, and how relevant are they? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They all are, right? They're all Walking Dead. They're all family. But when you think about what they're trying to do with the universe, I think you're going to be satisfied. But I think that these other shows, so this is me, are going to have, the closure is going to come. There will be some closure. Let's just say that. I can say that. I'm not spoiling, right? For some. But I think that we need these spin-offs to kind of help really close the, finalize the story.
Yeah.
It's not going to end here. Not for everyone anyway.
Right.
Those are my closing remarks.
So yeah, well, I mean, look,
I spoiled the fuck out of it. Did you just say Rick died? What did you get? Rick died.
Who screen recorded that?
Yeah, exactly.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Oscar's redhead.
That's just gonna be on loop. Rick died. I
had some new person follow me on Instagram, and they're going, do you think Rick's alive? I'm like, well, I know he's alive. I mean,
to do the spinoff.
They straight up put me on a thing on Twitter, like, oh, the trooper said Rick's coming back. I'm like, whoa, what do you guys? Do you think he's gonna be around? I'm like, he is. They've been talking about a movie for 3 years prior to the damn spinoff.
Yeah.
But you said, this guy said, because they screenshotted what I said, and I'm like, well, there's a possibility, obviously. Oh, Trooper says Rick's alive, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God.
Where have you been the past 3 years?
Yeah. What kind of fan are you?
That happened to me recently on Undead Twitter. I can't remember what the picture was. It was an old picture of someone, maybe with the last, season 10 or 11, I guess, somebody getting killed. And the person retweets it, and they're like, F you, Undead Blocking, you spoiled, blah, blah. I'm thinking, dude, that was 2 years ago.
It's old news, motherfucker, catch up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't help it. Quick, get off social media if you don't want things spoiled.
Yeah.
There was a page on Twitter for the longest time tweeting, we'd be in season 8 or 9, 7 or 8, and they'd be tweeting they were watching season 3, and I'm like, are you on planet fucking 616 or some shit? Where are you? What fucking universe are you in right now?
Plot twist: Rick goes missing.
Yeah, I know, and I legit was just dude, where are you right now? If you're a new fan, I get it. Maybe you just started watching, but you're live tweeting season.
That's not been live for 7 years.
Season fucking 3 on Twitter. I'm like, bro, we've done past that.
Rewatch or something, maybe. But still,
you can learn anything about social media, man. You can't be on it. You just can't. If you're trying to watch or binge, unless it's something that's week to week where nobody knows, if it's some shit that you're rewatching or binging, stay off because you're gonna be disappointed. Nobody follows the rules. Look, man, 95% of us love a spoiler. We do. I loved everything about Spoiling the Dead, and I'll put it out there. I did.
Yeah.
We followed them. I followed them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We even, shared stuff. They shared stuff. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to kind of, it kept you wanting more, to kind of, Carol disappeared. She's back. She was banished. We were there for that. We were there for that moment. We found her. Me and Casey found her.
Yeah. Right.
Believe it. Yeah. We took that pick. We're like, oh shit. Yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, you're at season 3. You got a good eight to go.
Yeah.
Working, bro.
I with the episode family, I want to point out where they're in the station, and they're basically booby trapped by Pamela and everything like that.
Yeah.
When Pamela picks up that rifle and takes that shot, and Judith sees it happening and hits Daryl out of the way and everything like that. I've never been so annoyed listening to someone speak in my life when she sat there and said, "You did this," like you did. I wanted a bullet to go right through her fucking head, like right there. You did, boom, just dead.
And that's another thing too. I don't know if it was Ezekiel. I don't know who took the shot, but after she says that, one of the guys next, Carol. One of the guys next to Pamela gets shot. I'm like, you couldn't have moved that gun like 6 inches to your right. Like, I mean, come on.
So I can't even ask him this. I need Pamela. I need Pamela dead. That's all I'm saying.
She's gonna die. Guaranteed. Dead. She's dying.
There has not been enough death, in my opinion, for a final season.
You want poetic justice? Her head on a pike.
Because it grinds my gut so badly. They're talking about these last 8 episodes supposed to be so impactful. Okay, yeah, we've seen Lance die. We've seen Sebastian die.
Yeah, there's a bunch of no-names.
Our group.
Yeah.
Like, no, it pisses me off. If you can't
but here's the thing: we have another episode, and it's
I know, but it should have been sprinkled. Wedding.
If they're gonna, this is going out with a bang. This is Walking Dead.
Literally.
Wait for it, guys. I'm not saying nothing. I know. Again, Chris, you can't do that to me.
I know. I just need death. Oh, I need death, man. Are we gonna have death?
Somebody's gonna die.
Things will die.
Things.
Lots of things will die.
You heard it here. Oscar Rodriguez said Rick's gonna die.
Did I hear things? Did I hear things or Rick?
I heard Rick Grimes. I don't know.
And I mean, so like we do have the walkers breaching in. We have the troopers now watching the walkers climb walls. She has this plan to feed them down into the central area where everybody lives to wipe out all the community and save her and the estates. And then, this whole thing with Judith and being shot and just like, she got shot in the chest. Okay, number one. It's not like she got a shoulder shot. It's not like she got shot like in the leg or in her appendage. It was a chest shot, thud, with a high-powered rifle.
No.
I mean, like, and we're running and we're running and we're running and we're here. Then we stop and we stare and we watch everything happening, and then we run some more. And she's sitting there and she looks back. And she says, "Daddy," as like Daryl's carrying her, and then we see her on a gurney alive. So is that her in a dream? Is that her in a coma? Because how in the hell are you stable? To me, there's no way that you're stable. You're not stable. You can't be stable unless she had something in her coat, Daddy's sheriff emblem that the bullet hit miraculously, and Daddy's sheriff star saved her life. Like we're pulling out some kind of magic trick here, where they're like, "Oh my God, look, your Rick's badge deflected the bullet." It's a fucking Christmas miracle, Tiny Tim. No, let's not do this. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm okay now. I'm better now.
positive thing from that episode. Well, not even positive, but it's like, we're talking about flashbacks before. The scene where Lydia got bit is a really good callback to the season 9 finale when she's like holding her arm out to the walker.
Yeah.
Bite me, and then that's like the same arm that got bit, and like around the same spot where she would have gotten bit.
That's a good call, Meg. Yeah, holy shit.
So
Yeah,
I thought that was a nice little subtle nod.
Yeah,
when she wanted to get bit, and now she doesn't want to get bit, and she got bit.
That was a great scene, though.
No, it was. Yeah, I mean,
you can, when they had to remove, that they're like, it's of course she's looking for this guy, that guy, and Cooper with the I'm sorry. It's like, bro, like they brought every one of them. Even if when you look at Cassidy and you watch her, how she's grown as an actor, and you watch the character development of Lydia, and then you see how that whole emotion is like that whole scene is facially driven.
Yeah.
Like, okay, just watch it again. Look at how she changes and how much. It is brilliant, and she told the story with that, and then Cooper kills it with. He fed off of that, Jerry, and it's like, we gotta do this, boo, and it's like, bang, it's like, oh shit, like when he hit, everything drained. Yeah, I was like, damn, and of course we've seen that already, right? You talked about it earlier, the grind. What do you call it? Your gut grinding.
Yeah, grinds my guts.
Yeah, grinds your guts and. Grind your gears, but
exactly,
it was well executed as far as even Ross with the telling her, yeah, we loved you, and it doesn't matter.
That was powerful.
Yeah, look at me, I made it. Like that was a lot, and here's my thing, and my observation is why these last 3 episodes are so much. It's because what they're going through. It was ending for all these guys, right? So each one of them is really emotional, and you're getting the best of that because they know this was 2 episodes from the end, and the 1 episode from the end. All that emotion that's there, they're coming to work and they're going, this is could be over in a week. You're seeing that in those performances, so we're getting that really good at the end of these final episodes, and you're seeing that because everybody was so emotional for the last couple of weeks filming these episodes. You could see it. Everything was different. It was a little bit of weight. Right. Not that there needed to be. You just know that it's ending. And I saw that in these performances, and it was brilliant. That scene was amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, I read somewhere about Cassidy that someone was saying she has the ability to literally turn it on. The waterworks, the everything, the emotion, like you're saying, the facial expression and the anguish. And so I forgot where I was reading it. I don't know if it was something you put out, Renee, or not, but I read an article. And it was basically one of the other cast members talking about her and, these scenes where she just is able to just, boom, like it's there,
I've seen that. I have seen that. And again, she's her evolution, you know what I'm saying? Has become this young actor into this season over these few years. Really, it's Chris, man. It's like she's definitely refined, and it's brilliant to just see her grow. Seeing her, like I said, she was 17 when we started doing whisper stuff and bringing my daughter, and she would get into the scene, and then it's like, Cassidy is just so full of energy.
Oh my god.
Been privy to have her at the camp, and she danced, and we did auctions, and she was so much energy, and that's kind of even toned down a little bit, when you see her. I think that was the young lady, and now this is more a woman that we're seeing. This, and it changed a little bit, but she's still fun and lovely and lively, and just not like I said, that younger teenager. Yeah. She's amazing. I just want to shout her out. I think she's the bomb, man. Not little girl. This woman is awesome. I just remember her as a young lady.
Right. All right. So what we're gonna do right now to wrap this up is Oscar's got some stuff and things that he wants to reward some people with. So we're gonna do like a scavenger hunt. All right, and these are the rules, so I need you guys to pay close attention. Now, this game also applies for anyone overseas if you want to play, but I will let you know that if you are overseas and you do participate, Oscar said he will split the shipping with you, so you can still participate. And if you are a winner, and there's we're doing the top 3. So the first 3 people that DM Oscar with everything you need from the scavenger hunt, go ahead.
DM my Facebook. I'm only taking DMs in the Facebook Messenger.
He's only taking a DM directly to the face.
Facebook.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You motherfucker.
He wants a DM right to the dome plate in Facebook. So this is what you need to do. You need to take a photo of each item and then send it to Oscar in his DMs on Facebook. The first 3 people, it is the first 3 that he receives will be the 3 winners.
So number 1's gonna win. I got these really cool 3 plants.
Go ahead.
And this one here, this is the Lost Boy. This was featured at the camp.
Now, are you able to autograph that for them?
Yeah, I could sign it down on the
Okay.
base.
All right.
So we got David from the Lost Boys. These are cool. You can move them around. That you can take the light out, change your batteries. 1 click, they're on, they're off. It's all 3D printed, my design. So that'll be for number 1, our first place. Number 2, got this really cool headshot of me as a trooper that was designed by Mark Roberts. That's already been signed. Tells you to show some love to the Commonwealth. So I'm really excited about that one. That's an 8.5 by 11. And then the last one is going to be this really dope comic book that I signed. It says, "Don't get bit." I always say that's my hand.
Because it could be.
Look, that's my motherfucking hand. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I don't give a damn. That's really dope. It's it was from the comic book day. It was a 25 cents Walking Dead comic, and I have a boatload, and I signed one. So the first 3 to do. So number 1 of the 3 gets the lamp. Number 2 will get the photo, and the third one will get the comic book.
Okay.
Oscar, real quick, Mark's in the chat, so he's.
Oh, shout out to Mark! Thank you for the amazing.
Mark Roberts.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, Mark Roberts from the Dead
Dead Cards, too.
Yeah.
Well, I will be happy to send you one.
Yeah, we got.
These are the unofficial. Mark has worked on some newer designs. We added some text and stuff, but I really like that first one where you see the firing squad, the windmills right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We kind of took that from the Faith. AMC put something up with Faith, and when it was coming on, it was just the windmill. So he incorporated that. Him and I talk a bunch. Mark's a really good friend. Mark's a big supporter of he comes to the campus with our feature guys. And he does an absolute amazing job with the dead cards.
Yeah,
I made every one of you guys into one. So he produced that, and I jumped the gun, printed some out. These are photo quality, though. But, yeah, I thought I'd give one away.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you, bro.
Mark, we got to talk. We got to talk about some Beauty and the Beast dead cards here.
Hey, they put it out in the open, so hopefully you get some work out.
Yeah. All right. So
what are the items for the scavenger hunt?
These are what we need photos of. Okay. I need you to the first one, whatever order you do it in, doesn't matter. But we need you to take a photo of a piece of Oscar's art, whether you have it on hand in person or if you take a screenshot on the internet somewhere. Doesn't matter. Just need a photo of Oscar's art.
Make sure it's my art, because if it's someone else's, you won't.
That's right. It can't be someone's edit. It's got to be an original piece of Oscar's actual art. No edits, no nothing. So that's object number 1 you got to do. Then we're going to play a little MacGyver. I need a paper clip, a pencil eraser, and a chewed piece of bubble gum. That's it. Photos of all those. DM Oscar in his Facebook.
And only send me one DM. So I want the picture of my art and those 3 things he asked for in one message.
Yep.
That's how you're included.
So it'll be
in one message. The first one I get, if it's correct, you'll be our number 1. The second will be 2, and 3 will be 3.
Does Oscar's face count as art? Yes.
Facebook
Typing this in the chat. So Oscars are a paperclip, a pencil eraser, and bubble gum.
Yep, chewed bubble gum. Got to be chewed.
ABC already been.
It's got to be already been chewed. Yeah, we want that big old gooby piece of gum that's in his DMs.
Oh, nasty.
I told you, I got a little MacGyver. You know, I was going to throw in a 9-volt battery on your
No,
tongue.
you're right. You're right.
You know?
No inbox it. I'm gonna give out my personal phone number, guys. 1-800.
No, 1-900.
Yeah, 1-900.
Yeah.
You got to make some money after all.
Yes, and once again, if you are overseas and you're participating, Oscar will split that cost, so that way it's not full cost for.
I will share it with you.
Yeah.
It's a gift. 1-900 lift my ass flat. I gotta go Google.
You know, I know why you guys had them butt pads, because them walkers be straight ass eating on that show, bro.
They go right for it.
Right for them cheeks.
They go, yeah.
You know, I really tried. I don't know if you guys noticed. I was really good about language. I tried really, really hard. I said, I'm gonna be
You're very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be good. But motherfucker down here in the corners bringing it on me, Chris. Every time I see that beard, so sexy. But okay, let me stop. Let's go back to rated what? PG?
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right.
See, fuck's not even a bad word anymore.
No.
That's pretty.
Not when you really know what fuck really means.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck was basically like you getting permission from the king for you to go fornicate. Like, that was what that's what it meant. Like, the king, like, go ahead, bang your wife. You know what I mean? Like, sure. You know?
I'm not getting. I haven't got anyone in the.
Dude, they're gonna first. They have to chew gum. Who has a pencil eraser nearby and then a paper clip? Someone's running to Staples right now. Yeah, I know. That's funny though. I figured, you know.
The John's room, my kid's room, there's always fucking gum in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, someone's just like straight trash digging right now. Like, I gotta get a paper clip. Yeah.
Well, I can, you know, like I said, I'll show you guys. Nothing happening yet.
Okay.
When I get my first 3, and if they're good, we'll.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Renee sent her.
Renee said.
Renee wins prize number 1. Renee,
Okay.
Damn. All right.
Damn, I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was.
Renee, how fast did you chew that gum?
I know.
And all in one photo.
Yeah.
Extra credit.
I like it.
Yeah, specifically, I didn't say one photo. I said one message. You don't have 10 pics, right? So, Renee, you are our first place winner, and you will be. I need you to send me. Your address.
She said she would like second or third place, please. I'd like second or third place, please.
She's not. No, she won first place. How do you just?
I don't know. Maybe she obviously either wants the picture of you or your hand.
What do you want then, Renee? Send me a message.
She said either second or third.
Either.
She said she was already chewing the gum.
Yeah.
I as much as I want to not say motherfucker, man.
Say it.
One of us.
Damn.
Don't worry.
I have to say though, while you're waiting for more entries, in the episode last night where the walker like climbed up and he fell, I really thought that was you.
No. No.
I was like, I wonder if it's Oscar. I'm gonna ask
I didn't
him.
get to do any of that. That would be a stunt, and definitely you would have to be on a different level. But the most you'll see is a hand or a grab or somebody stabbing you. But yeah, that's definitely like Monty's crew. That would be like straight stunt guys. Like they get to do that. But that was a dope ass scene though.
What about like the walker that like climbed up that caused JDM to be like, what the fuck?
He would also have to be a stunt guy. They wouldn't really if I'm going to be 2 feet off the ground or on the ground, they would choose a stunt guy over because they know how to fall, they know how to climb. If there were, it's a security thing. We might be able, like even like walking through water, they won't let us get wet because what if you get? Yeah, we had to put on. We did a scene in the Whisper camp and we had to wear like the waders.
Oh yeah.
So you get like a water bump and things like that. So there are times though, like towards the end, we did. There was that mansion scene. Remember, Norman's chasing money, and you see that walker, he stabs in the head. That's your boy right here. And I had to fly to get padded up. So, but they're just trying to get it done. They're like, let's go. They're like, not going to worry about the box of pads. Normally they wouldn't do that, but towards the end, they were kind of letting us have a little fun, I
A little
guess.
lenient, yeah.
Little lenient, yeah. Well, so far we have Renee as our.
A lot of people are. See, I told you I was going to get a lot of people with this gum.
Becky wants to know if you take slime instead of gum.
And Pi said she was asked me if she could chew toilet paper and use that as the gum. I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. I mean, it's going to look like gum either way. I mean,
Hey, I'm not going to overanalyze the photo, man.
right? It's good if it looks like gum. We're taking it as gum.
If it looks like a duck and it has feathers,
Right.
Then it's a dog.
Pi said I just want to watch her eat toilet paper, and I said, yes, I do. So, yeah.
How'd you know?
How'd you know?
You got me, Skippy.
And
Well,
Linda,
I can keep watching this, guy. So you want to announce the winners on here?
You can let us know.
yeah, if you want,
I'll keep watching it. I'll let you guys know. I'll post it up on the page.
you can tag all the winners on Facebook and then tag us.
Yeah, I'll tag the winners. Right now, we know Renee. It happened
Yep.
live.
So
I will keep my eyes open, and we'll make an announcement. I'll put an announcement. I'll tag you guys, and then people will send me or DM me their address, whatever, and we'll get it together for you.
very cool.
Okay.
You got two more. I'm waiting for two more slots. I guess Renee wants the photo, and someone else.
Renee said she wants the trooper pick, please.
I will send her the trooper pick, and someone ultimately has the chance to win the lamp and the comic book. And knowing me, I'll probably pick 4 people because it's just the split that I do. So
Yeah.
Just heads up, everyone, with shipping. Shipping's a nightmare right now, especially with the holidays. And here in America, we're about to have Thanksgiving, so might be a little screwed up a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna. There's already like a 2 to 3 day delay based on just some of the stuff I've recently sent out.
Mm.
They're upcharging about anywhere from 72 cents to $1 for the little bit of the larger items. It's what they call a holiday rate. So,
Right.
fuck you in the drive-through. You don't know you're fucked till you're like a mile down and your cheeseburger's not a cheeseburger. It's a
Right.
And we got him to say fuck.
In the past 10 minutes, he said fuck 3 times.
There it is. I love it.
It's at the end. It's okay. Kids are asleep now.
All right, so I'll keep watching for that. And are we still hanging? We going? What are we doing?
Yeah, no, we're ready to go, man.
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah.
Do our send off.
Yeah, we're ready to go. I'm just checking the chat, and everyone's So guys,
no rush. I'm here.
I'm just
playing.
So Becky, well, that's what I'm saying. Becky, anybody else who? Let me see. Mark, Renee, Linda. I mean, look, you guys there's still opportunity. I know. So if you guys want, just got to get yourself some bubble gum or something. When Mark says it's easy to spot Oscar's walker, it's saying motherfucker.
Oh shit! You typed that shit, Mark. You a bad.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh yeah, he even did it like motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just the way you say it.
Yep, just the way you say it. Oh.
Yeah, I ain't to please, man. I'm here to Thursday, maybe Friday. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we have final episodes coming up, and right after they wrap the season up with everyone, the fan base, we'll be announcing a pretty amazing lineup, and once again, thanks to Oscar and Casey for us being able to go to the camp,
and be a part of that,
do what we do, be a part of it, and it gives us the opportunity to make those connections, to line up these guests for you guys. And in all honesty, we've always loved the camp, but this past one, it's always the people. And in this past one just was super special for me personally. I mean, I'm sure it was special for everybody, but it's very humbling, I guess, to be around people, actors and what they do for a living, and have them, in person talking to you and just like having real down to earth conversations, and bonding, you know what I mean, with somebody, like, how, you know what I mean, how is this happening right now, kind of thing. And I do want to say, like, one of my greatest takeaways from this past camp was like growing up hard with MJS. I mean, Michael J.
You guys have a bromance, bro.
Me and that dude clicked on such a level, man, and like, I gotta say, like, that was amazing for me personally, as a personal experience, and that would have never happened without what you guys offer us. So like that right there for me is like such a personal win, and I don't know, who knows what like kind of friendship him and I'll have, but I mean, like we talk, we text, like the dude gave me his number, like, you know what I mean, like, and he'll be one of our future guests and stuff. So it's just like,
yeah,
that, like I said, that right there is like my major win for me personally from the camp, and like I said, that don't happen without the opportunity you guys give us.
Yeah.
So, that alone, man, is enough for me, on any given day.
Like my moment was, we flew in late Friday night, and Paola, she was coming out of the party, and she saw me, and she was like, "Oh shit!" And she like ran over and gave me a huge hug, and she's like, "Hey, where's your other half?" I was like, "Who, Thor?" And she goes, "Yeah, exactly. Where is he?" I'm like, "I don't know. I lost him." And she goes, "Tell the motherfucker you better come back here." I'm like, "I will." Just having that interaction was so cool, because I'm like, I had only met her in May at the camp, and that was very brief, because I happened to be in the lobby with you, Oscar, when she came in, because she had a play that she was doing in New York City, so she was only there Sunday, as kind of like a special add-on to the camp in May, and so that window that we were able to talk was very brief, but she still remembered us, and you could see that this wasn't her acting. Like when she saw me, she was legitimately happy to see me, and gave me a huge hug, and it was cool to see that interaction, and we would have that nowhere else. So thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
I think my favorite part during Cooper and Okay's panel, Belushi jumped up on me. Legit, Renee got a really great picture of Belushi just licking my face, and it was such a random moment, and it just really stuck. And during our newlyweds panel, Renee, help me out. What was it I said?
Possession.
Possession, yeah.
And she was joking around like, position? What? And it turned into a whole thing. People were tweeting about it, and that was
so nasty.
Yeah.
I know. So much for a family event.
I love when she was talking about how she broke her foot, her ankle, and then she was like, "Yeah, I was filming the scene, and girls don't like it when you pull their hair." And she just pauses and she goes, "Not like that, you pervert."
I can honestly say, like at the end when we after we watched the episode and we were talking, you guys were all up on stage, thinking about like looking around the room, and it's like we talk, Walking Dead family. The camp was a family event.
Mm-hmm.
It really felt like family. I felt like I was truly surrounded by friends that turned into family, and it's not something you feel too often, and that's just the whole vibe. So if like anybody's thinking about going to the camp, just go.
Yeah.
And Oscar, that's all because of you, dude, and Casey, and the whole staff. That you guys all love what you do. We love going. So thank you.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to get all sentimental.
We got our 3 winners.
You wasn't even paying attention.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, no. I'm listening. I promise. I was one ear here, one ear there. I heard you. I promise. You know what? Let her retake. Do that.
No.
No, you don't want to retake.
No. The moment's gone.
No, I heard you. I promise. I hear you.
I love you. I'm just fucking with you.
I know. Renee, you were going to say something. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
The whole time you were talking about your time, so I had a great interaction with Teo. He remembered me from last in May, and then I never met Cooper, and we're standing there talking. Cooper's just talking to us like he knows us all forever, and I'm like, I've never met Cooper, and he's like, It was crazy. So that was fun. But then I had one of the guests, or just one of the attendees during the I don't know which party it was, one of the parties, and she said she came up to me and she's like, "You guys are doing so great with the panels," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, isn't it wonderful?" And she's like, "Do you ever just sit there and think, is this really my life?" And I said, "Every time." I said, "We're doing this, and just these people we get to interact with, and people we meet, and then the friendships you make." And I said, "Yes, I ask myself that frequently. Is this really my life?" And so, yeah, we just appreciate the opportunity, and Casey, Oscar, and everybody that is involved in make this happen, and just to let us be this little piece of it, it's fantastic.
It's all the little pieces that make this big thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We're just little. Where I always say this little thing that you guys make so big, and yeah, so I think that tops it off.
Don't forget Jake.
Don't forget.
Well,
Jake.
no, yeah.
Don't forget Jake. John.
No, not at all.
.com.
There is a behind the scenes team for you guys between volunteers. Jake with everything he does as far as organizational wise, and it's just like
Dustin with security.
Dustin and everybody with security. Blaze, the behind the scenes people. Like you guys are the actors, and they're your supporting cast, right? So like, you and Casey are like the front runners, and you got your supporting cast, and like obviously without your supporting cast, the show doesn't happen. So like, and you guys giving us the privileges that we have, we had with this past camp and moving forward, it gives us just pure like joy and pride knowing that we can do that for you guys, to be part of the supporting cast. So, obviously, 100% thank you to all those people. They're just a big part of the event as anybody. So
at this point, it doesn't work without any of us,
Yeah.
It's not one anymore or two. It's 100, from the front to the back to the attendees, and it's a family all the way around. I mean, everybody's always trying to help and trying to do, and even people buying these inclusives and spending this money. They're like, oh, they're humble. They're like, hey, I'll go take out the trash for you. I'll do, and it's super. Like I said, I'm getting emotional. It's happening, but it's a big deal. It's just a big deal. Like it shows character. You know what I'm saying? It shows it's not just about, oh, I'm a VIP. I bought it. It doesn't matter. They're willing to open it with us and close it down, even though they put so much of their own into it. They want to give more, and we recognize it and we appreciate it. We're proud to have you guys and our staff, Casey and Jake, and they're the ones. They're not. Look, they're not just the face. Casey and Jake run this show, so I want to put it out there
Absolutely
for everybody to understand. It's Casey and Jake that run the camp. Oscar is the one that kind of runs around and keeps it all together in a sense, but it don't happen without them.
Yeah.
I couldn't do the camp. So, the biggest shout out goes to Jake and to Casey.
Absolutely.
Of course, we have an amazing security team. Dustin, Nathan's part of that now. Blaze, Bill, Carol, right? And the list goes, Karen and Dottie and all these people that help us. And Tony, her husband, who drives the transportation and everything. And
how many times does that man go back and forth from the airport, right?
There's so much. There's such. Again, you can relate it to Walking Dead, right? That big ass crew makes that beautiful thing, right? That show every so it takes us every 6 months, our little cast and crew to make that camp that weekend. So and we're all a part of it. It doesn't you heard my show or the show. It's ours, man. I do claim it. I do. I'm guilty of saying mine. It's not mine. It's out. It belongs to us. Same don't belong to me. Again, I'm the face. There was an idea. It changed, and it's you guys. It's all of us. It's our thing. The camp belongs to us, man. If you four ain't there, what happens with those panels.
Right.
It doesn't. We could get something. It doesn't work. If we were missing Gabe and Nelson, we were missing that element of production and and music and somebody to MC, and now they're there. It's theirs. It's ours. It doesn't work without. So, of course, people come and go, man. We're sorry to lose members. You don't know who. You know, if we're just gonna get down to the real, you don't really know people till you know, right? So you know and sometimes in things like this, some people don't last, and some do, and you know who they are. People go, where's that person? Where's this person? It just didn't work out. It's not because we don't want you there. The situation just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like me, Casey, and at least her and I, as the owners, right? I try to show the love and spread the love, and maybe I'm misunderstood at times because it's hard to read this. And I talked to you a little bit about it today, Chris.
Yeah.
The internals, but we love everybody, man, and so we're always going, is it us? And then when you consider, you go, it can't be, but maybe it can, because we're all individuals. Everybody looks at things. My perception is so different than yours. I mean, I might see it blue, you might see it yellow. Who's telling the truth? But aside from all that, I think that the kinks are all working themselves out, right? Things are going the way they're supposed to. And at the end, what's left is what we make of it.
Yeah.
And I think that we're doing a fantastic job. So, I thank you guys, and I thank my wife and Jacob and our vendors and the people that come and spend money to participate, and the attendees. Without them, it ain't nothing. And a lot of these guys are scraping. They're scraping deep.
Sure.
To be there, to be at our thing, to be with their friends, to be with their family, to be with the TW family. That's important. It's really cool to see that love and I guess it helps us to, because you get those thoughts of, you know what I'm saying? Like Casey put up a post recently. We talked about it, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And the struggle's there, man. It's a new battle. But
sure.
Ultimately, we want this for everybody, because a ton of us need it more than want it. They need this thing.
Right.
And we're trying to understand that. And anyway, I just want to say, I'm probably saying too much. I'm zoning here, but thank you guys for all your kind words. Thank you for having me on the show. Ryan, Chris, Meg, Renee, I love you guys. I can't wait to see everybody at the next one. We do it. It's ours. This is our thing, and I'm happy to have everyone, and I'm proud.
I'm getting emotional now.
Absolutely, Oscar. So we feel the same way, man.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you guys. I mean, more than anything, I'm really proud, and I hope to create friendships and maybe family. It's a hard term. Like Casey we talk about it. You can't just use that. It's loose. You learn, and that's the sad part of some of this.
Yeah.
Is that you learn and you hate that it's that, but I see genuine right here, and I'm proud of y'all. So thank you for being there. Thank you for bringing that element that was missing, and it was missing in a sense because things, right? Everything, and now we're back. We're there. Beast mode is back. Beauty and the Beast. We have our ladies now. We have our guys. You guys flow. It's organic. It feels good, and I'm happy. So, and thank you for letting me be here and showcasing me.
Always, doors always open.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, I don't know how much more tear jerking we can do today.
I wasn't trying to.
Hey, man, look,
it's the only jerking that'll be going on. All right, you perverts.
Obviously, for everyone there, if you don't follow Oscar yet, which I'm sure most of us, all of you do, go give him a follow. We have the 3 winners, so that'll be announced. He'll put that on his Facebook, and then and then so that'll be done. We have our 3 winners, and then obviously before you go, if you haven't already, you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will be back to talk about the big one next week.
Not ready
know.
for that.
I know, man. It's
That's gonna be a long episode, I think.
It's an hour and a half long, yeah, and then I think we'll probably be here who knows how long talking about it. So
Thank God I'm on vacation next week.
Yeah.
it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
I unfortunately will be out with my part-time job on Sunday, so I'm gonna have to try to sneak in watching the episode. Yeah,
Well,
I couldn't get off, so
Renee and Meg will be at that's my TWD viewing party.
Yep.
They'll be there representing us. I fortunately will not make it. I told Anthony I would try my hardest, but I just can't. I have so much going on here with the house, with me personally and stuff. But if it's possible, I mean, I'll try to get on virtually. You know what I mean? Say what's up to wave to everybody on the big screen or something. You know?
I'll FaceTime with you if anything.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll get you. We can get him up on that big screen.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But and then so anybody who wants to get a glimmer of what's going on, just keep an eye out on the YouTube page for Renee and Meg posting stuff. A quick live or whatever, and videos and photos, and then they'll be doing some panels down there as well, which is amazing, representing for us, which couldn't be more ecstatic having. I know Renee, but now Meg soon will be in Georgia after the new year. Sometime is it next year?
I'm going to Disney in January, so I'm aiming to start looking in February.
Yeah.
With the finale on Sunday, I'm actually flying down Saturday because I'm pretty sure I know what town I'm going to move to, so I'm going to spend the whole day in that town.
Okay.
Instead of coming down for just 24 hours.
Yeah.
So
we'll
hopefully before Memorial Day.
So then by next year we will have half of Beauty and the Beast stationed in Georgia. So that'd be that right there is a win. That's a huge win.
That's a big win.
We're slowly moving and we're encroaching on the area.
It's funny. My coworker actually asked me the other day. She's like, "So is Walking Dead the reason you're moving to Georgia? It's ending, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it has nothing to do with it."
I would have been like, what? It's ending?
No,
You don't say, right?
She
Right.
didn't say.
So the town I live in is Norman Park, and people think I chose this town because of Norman
I
Park.
said that to you too.
Like, no, I picked it because of my house.
Yeah.
Even today, my coworker was like, "What are you gonna do after it ends? Like, it's like all your side hustles have to do with Walking Dead." I'm like, all of them. First off, I was like, "But The Walking Dead is nowhere near being over. Just because the action show's ending."
Well, fuck, all my side hustles are fun. I'm gonna say all of them. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna say.
Oh, also, totally kind of related, kind of not unrelated. For any US PC gamer, I am doing a huge Walking Dead gaming giveaway on my gaming channel, which if you follow me on Meg the Geek, you could see it. I retweeted it a couple times to get you the actual link, but it's all the Walking Dead games that have ever released on Steam on a massive giveaway.
Check that out.
I'm drawing the winner on the day after the finale, so 11/21.
Okay.
Well,
You gotta be in the US though.
You personally send me something so I could get into that.
Yeah, I'll send you the link on Facebook tonight.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll go check it out.
Yeah, it's cool. I do a lot of gaming giveaways, and with Walking Dead ending, it's the perfect time to do it.
Very cool. All right.
So here's the plug.
Yep. Go ahead.
I see Casey signaling to you in the background. All right. Get it out, Oscar. Come on.
Casey just informed me that Jacob Carney has posted up the payment plans for 2023 May, and because a lot of people are asking, so we figured we could
Absolutely.
Take this time to ask you guys to let everybody know. Go to the Facebook Camp Facebook page, and you can find a link there for the payment plans.
Very nice.
To the camp, and so sorry.
No.
No.
What's that plug when you gotta? What's the plug when you squeeze that bitch in? Stainless plug.
Yeah. Stainless plug. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about a different kind of plug. Not gonna lie.
That's a stainless plug too.
Bro. See, I was trying. Look, you talking about an outlet in a plug?
And
yeah, there you go.
And also, always keep your eyes posted on the camp page for all the
Always.
announcements. They usually 6 p.m. They usually drop an announcement at least once a week. Usually, it feels like.
We've already got 2 Fear the Walking Dead.
Yep, 2 Fear the Walking
Karen
Dead.
and Mo.
And Mo,
Yep,
right?
Yep, Mo Collins and Karen.
David.
Yeah.
So
So
we're steady working on some. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
keep your eyes peeled, and we're definitely going to be getting some. We're trying to get some really cool stuff. So hopefully, May will be a really fantastic show, and everybody here, we'd love to see you. I mean,
Yeah.
I know some of you are overseas, and you too. You might win the lottery, man.
you never know. You never know.
I know it's hard, man, and we really do. That's why we have a payment plan. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll put all of the camp links in our in the description of this video. So if anyone's looking for them, I'll put it right in there.
Cool.
appreciate it. So
Oh, thank you so much,
Thanks,
brother.
Oscar.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
Oscar.
you.
thank you guys. Love y'all. Can't
Big
wait
love.
to do it again. Are we signing off?
Yes, we're
We're
good.
out of here.
God bless and good night. I will tag you guys with the winners, and we'll see you soon, man.
All
You
right.
guys that are going to Sonoy or to Georgia for the viewing, enjoy. I hope you guys. I wish you safe travels. I hope you guys have a great time. Obviously, you're going to be doing it again with the group, so we kind of know that's a great feeling. I'm jelly. We're planning. We got a cruise coming up, so that kind of disrupts that because we were wanting to come down, but say hi to everybody for us, and we'll see everybody soon.
All right, brother.
Later, guys.
Everybody, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
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 Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's Peter Z up on the mic. Whoa, hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry and subscribe and like if you can, please. Or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go.